Hello, Ecom Convert members. I'm here with Sandra. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Matt?
Excellent. So today we're going to do another one of these quick, short and sweet interviews. Try to give share some wisdom with the other members. So I'm trying to interview profitable store owners that I'm not qualifying in terms of how much sales you've made, but just if you've made it to profit, at least you have some things to share and some experience that might be valuable for other members. So that's my whole idea here. So no stress at all. You don't have to share private, information or information that's too
Sure.
personal to the business. But let's jump right in. So I have the kind of the same questions that I've asked before and with other people. Uh, let's start with your background. Kind of tell us a little bit about you and how long you've been in e-commerce.
Sure. My background is pretty varied. I did a lot of traveling when I was younger, so I took about 10 years off from going from one school to college. But even during that time, I had a lot of experience in starting my own small businesses, helping other small businesses. When I did finally go to school, I had a concentration in management and entrepreneurship. And while in school, I actually started a supply chain management consulting firm. From there, I ran a hospital department and all kinds of other things. So I've now been doing e-commerce for about a little over 3 years now.
Sounds like that was a natural progression towards e-commerce with your background. I mean, that sounds relevant to me.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what do you sell if you want to mention your store? Kind of who do you sell to? What's your audience?
Sure. So my store is shopaip.com, and we are an online grocery store that specializes in anti-inflammatory products. So it is mostly shelf-stable food products, some health and beauty, and some things that would be considered more like a supplement. But it's mainly your pantry food items that can get very, very confusing when you're dealing with ingredients, when trying to help mitigate the negative effects of inflammation or even prevent the negative effects of inflammation. So my core group of customers are going to be those that come to this diet generally for health reasons. Either they already have a diagnosis and they're trying to figure out how to make their lives better through food, or even some that maybe have a history or just love healthy eating and realize that maybe once upon a time you could walk into a Whole Foods and feel pretty good about the products. But now I think with, the way that marketing goes is you can have a beautiful brown bag with very simple lettering and it's just still has crap for ingredients. So we're just a very well vetted store for products.
Interesting. That sounds like you have a good differentiation, and I love how focused you are as well on
Yeah,
information. That's kind of your audience, so that's
yeah.
great. What kind of results? So you mentioned you've been in business or in e-commerce for about 3 years. So what kind of results
Mhm.
have you managed to get during that time?
So we've done really, really well. Even last year, we were named in the top three of best online shops in Paleo magazine, which was pretty amazing. The one place that beat us out has many multiples of millions of investment poured into them, and I really just bootstrapped this entire operation. So we've recently just moved from our small town in the mountains of California down the mountain to Nevada in the Reno area. And that way we could expand, get a better facility that's more suited to shipping and receiving, and then have a bigger pool of employees to be able to do that. What COVID really taught me is I outgrew my small town. So
Hmm. And it looks like that's where you are right now. In
yeah,
your
it is where I'm at
Yeah,
right now.
awesome. Next question I have for you is, in terms of mistakes that you might have learned from, what are some of your biggest mistakes or learning experiences?
So many. Where to even start? The first mistake that I made was that I did not think I should be doing the shipping and receiving. So, although I wasn't going to do drop shipping, I actually hired a fulfillment center to do all the fulfillment of the products. And that might be okay for someone who has, a very small number of products that you can easily define how you're going to ship it, how much it's going to weigh, what type of box or envelope it's going to go in. But with mine, it's a very complicated shipping system with glass bottles and chips and things like that. And I have a lot of various box sizes and options and things of that nature. And I don't know that any fulfillment center, I don't want to throw that one under the bus. I think they probably do a really good job for for those other types of businesses. But mine, it was a very big and very expensive mistake. And I think the biggest thing I learned from that is don't be married to your own ideas. As soon as I figured out that, oh my gosh, these people are going to put me under before I've even had a chance to get going, I completely pivoted. And from the day that thought went through my head to shipping out locally in my hometown was 30 days. So, you know, what I learned always is that, hey, if what you decided to do isn't working, then do something else and do it quickly, because what you've already figured out is it doesn't work. So let's get on to the next thing to see what does work. Okay,
that's a good lesson. How do you find winning products? You have a whole lot of products, so how do you identify the ones that?
Sure. So at first, I just scoured the internet. That was my first strategy. And for me, it's a little bit easier because I'm very focused on ingredients. So I can, you know, look for different brands, and then I'm literally just reading the labels of every ingredient. But a couple of strategies is, number one, I ask customers all the time. You know, it's a pretty regular question, whether it's on social media or in a customer service email. Hey, you know, is there a product out there that you really wish we carried? Let us know, you know. And a huge portion of our new products, especially now, come from customers saying, hey, I saw this product and I really wish you sold it. Now, also, I'm a little bit lucky now with 3 years under my belt, is because I'm quite well known in my little niche. And so small suppliers that are aiming for that community reach out. So I had the opportunity multiple times to be the first person to go to market with a new product. So that helps my customers and my business, and then of course helps small makers that are trying to get a foothold.
Gotcha. So mainly asking your customers or listening to your customers, and then
Absolutely.
Once you get established, and you have other opportunities. Awesome.
Right. Right.
And the last question is, let's talk a little bit about user experience. So on your store, what are some of the things that you've realized that you needed to improve, or things that you've changed that work better for the experience for users?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I targeted, there were two things. And for me, because I'm going after a very specific audience that likes a lot of information, there's one thing I've done that is generally frowned upon. And so you have to make sure that just because it's frowned upon doesn't mean it's not right for your business. But one is, I have product graphics that have a lot of text overlay, which normally you don't have. And I definitely had to do a workaround for Google so that they would not ban all of my products from Google Shopping, but we got that worked out. So that was number one, you know, giving customers information right off the bat, because what people look at first is going to be the graphic, is going to be the picture. The other thing is my back-end search options. So I'm still doing just an out-of-the-box app that I found, but I do a lot of intricate back work where it's naming and checking off a lot of boxes in a lot of different categories so that customers can do a comprehensive search and really narrow down things that they're looking for. Because just because they're looking for anti-inflammatory, they may even be more specific than that. So I try to make it as easy as possible for customers to find exactly what it is they're looking for.
Great points. All right, I want to respect your time again. I want to keep these really short. So thank you very much for doing this. I hope other members will get some really good value out of it. And I'll see you in the group.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it.
For sure. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too.